country people, you do well say you join us inside news on the hour for Plus TV Africa. This one and them Tori they make background for this very o'clock. My name na Betiana Unweli. Senator Danjuma GOJE of APC Gombe Central on Thursday done announcing withdrawal from the race for Senate presidency, and he endorsed the candidacy of Senator Ahmad Lawan. The election for Senate presidency they expected to hold June 11. GOJE and Lawan follow State House correspondent Yan after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari alongside Governor Nasser El-Rufai of Kaduna State for the presidential villa Abuja. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senator Ita Enang, they present as both candidates they answer question from State House correspondents. The National Assembly management don't give outgoing members of the 8th Senate 3 days to hand over their office key. Now, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, took the announcement on Thursday for the beginning of the valedictory session of the 8th Assembly for the National Assembly, Abuja. The announcement now the fourth agenda on the order paper of the day, the 8th Senate, where them inaugurate on June 9, 2015, go come to an end on June 6. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, on Wednesday give update for the Operation Puff Adder when they tackle kidnap and banditry nationwide. When he said the police don't arrest 2,175 suspects since April 5. The IG said the police operatives where them join with the Operation Puff Adder don't still save 63 kidnapped people within the period and can call for tougher legislation against kidnap and banditry, like to seize the assets when in link to these crimes. Adamu talked this one as they touchlight matter with the delegation of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Nasarawa State Chapter, when they go see him for in official quarters for Abuja. 1 year and when the first public relations officer, DCP Frank Mba, the IG talk, he said the 2,175 suspects include 852 with them arrest for kidnap, 865 for armed robbery, 359 for kilikili, and 99 for cultism. Mba said the IG called for tough legislation against kidnapping and banditry, with possible state seizure of assets when he linked to waiting the kidnappers collect and other crimes. The IGP they believe say them go act as strong body to obonga kidnappers and other criminals. Them say na like 60 suspect bandits where them call Sarah Suka, named them don't arrest within the Bauchi metropolis. The Defense Headquarters, DHQ, don't condemn the behavior of troops of the AFN, where they captured in a trending video when them allegedly maltreat some suspected armed robbers and kidnappers where them arrest along Abuja-Kaduna Highway as them describe them as unprofessional. According by a statement by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Colonel Onyema Wanchuku, on Wednesday, the troops don't do oversabi in a desperate attempt to extract information from the suspected bandits. The DHQ talk say the character where the troops show in the video footage, they're very unprofessional and an outright violation of the code of conduct where them give them to guide the conduct and behavior of troops during operations. In order to address the matter, the Chief of Defense Staff don't order a thorough investigate into the incident to bring to book all the guilty people according by the military justice system. The Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria Southeast Zone say them no get any wahala against any state for the zone, not talk less of plot against any form of gbege. The association for one press conference for Oka, the Anambra State capital, deny one media report where them say headsmen go cause wahala for the area for because of them say their cow not chop grass. The Achemo of Makban Southeast Zone, Alhaji Gidado Sidiki, said the story no make sense at all. Former Defense Minister Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma retired, former military governor of Rivers State, General Zamani LEKWOT retired, and Chief Solomon Asemota San don't tell the United Kingdom Parliament say President Muhammadu Buhari they pursue one jihad or Islamization agenda and not serious to tackle insecurity when they come from Boko Haram insurgency and headsmen. Farmers wege for the country. The trio act under the aegis of Nigeria Christian Elders Forum, NCEF, when they still get General Joshua Dongoyaro retired, Justice Kalajain Anigbogu, Elder Matthew Owojaye, Dr. Kate Okpaleke, and Elder Moses Ihonde as members. The Christian elders blame Lord Lugard, say Naim sowed the seed of ethno-religious GEGHE and dichotomy between northern and southern Nigeria, and contest deepening of democracy and rejection of Sharia for their position for paper, when them date to June 3 to the all-party parliamentary group for international freedom of religion or belief. Earlier for our Off the Press program, Bayo Olokwohunda shared talk on top the palaver.
That has its background in the herdsmen crisis, the fear that is being backed by the establishment, that the president is not doing a lot to address this issue. And you see the Taraba issues, people that have been killed in Benue and a couple of other northern states. So of course, people have this genuine concern that the government is not doing anything about the herdsmen crisis. Yeah, so that's important, and that's why you see all of the thought leaders coming together to push this agenda of addressing this issue with the UK Parliament and all of that. Danjuma has spoken about it. I remember recently, Obasanjo also spoke about Islamization and Islamization. Yes, and then, you know, and it dovetails into Buhari attending OIC conference and all of that. But again, this has always been the issue with our country. The issue of religion, the issue of ethnicity, trust, not building trust with the people. So it's important that the government, the Buhari has to address these issues. He must speak about them. He must give people assurance that this is not happening. Because when people have these fears, then they have the right to have the fears when people are being killed all over the country.
Is done convincingly.
Yes, convincingly. So yes, of course, these guys have the right to push this. June 12 must address this issue of Fulanization and Islamization. But let me tell you something, David. The issue of Islamization and Islamization is as old as Nigeria. First, Buhari is not the first president to attend OIC. When Babangida moved us into OIC in 1986, I mean, this has always been there. The issue has always been there. So yes, of course, but we need the leadership to tell Nigerians this is a secular state, and we must remain a secular state. Yeah.
Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State don't approve the reappointment of Babale Yari as Secretary to the State Government SSG and Suleiman Arugungu as Chief of Staff COS. The appointment day for the statement when the Chief Press Secretary to Bagudu, Abubakar Dakingari, signed for Benin Kebbi on Thursday. Dakingari say Oga Bagudu don't get confidence for the ability, capability and dedication of Mr. Yari to continue with his service as SSG. Both appointments na sharp. The news agency of Nigeria reports say Oga Agungu na before Deputy Governor of the state and him serve as the Director General of the campaign organization of the incumbent for 2015 and 2019 general elections. The Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, don't revoke 5 oil mining license, OML, and 1 oil prospecting license, OPL, which belong to 5 companies. In a public notice where them issue on Thursday by the regulatory body, the revoking they based on a presidential directive to recover legacy debts where the companies they owe by the operating licenses. The 5 companies where they affected na Pan Ocean Oil Corporation, Allied Energy Resources Nigeria, Express Petroleum and Gas Company, Cavendish Petroleum Nigeria, and Summit Oil International. The former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Mr. Ibe Kachiku, last Friday announced plans to recover the oil licenses of the companies where they in debt. Him express his worry, say some of the companies don't fail to make statutory remittance, even though say them they joint operatorship with the federal government. A development where him say they deny them revenue from running into billions of dollars. Teachers of government primary and secondary schools for Abia State don't start waka of indefinite strike. The primary teachers say they never paid their TSS money till date, while their secondary school counterparts say make them pay them their 10-month salary in arrears. One teacher said the union do this waka because the government no agree pay them. The chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Uchenna Obigwe, confirmed the strike. Obigwe said the governor, after one meeting with Labour and NUT leaders, released $1,050,000 from the May FAC to pay some months of the arrears. The presidency don't meet with electricity distribution companies to resolve some of the matter when it affect the electricity supply industry. Them say the chief of staff to the president, Abba Kyari, get one meeting with the discourse last week before the presidential inauguration and the before week with representatives of the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, the Bureau of Public Enterprises and the Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading PLC show face. As reports take day, them say the meetings now to resolve the liquidity GEGHE for the sector and improve service delivery by the discourse. The meeting examined power distribution projects when the German government GOVT help the discourse with. More than 5 years after the privatization of the sector, the investors, when them take over the 6th generation companies and 11 discourse, where them collabo after the palaver of the Power Holding Company of Nigeria still there with the old problems for the sector. The sector gets wahala of gas supply shortage, small distribution networks, small transmission line capacity, big metering gap, electricity tif-tif, and high technical and commercial loss and others. Bayo Olokwohunda still talk in mind for inside this matter.
The issue of power is connected to everything. I mean, with the economy, with social security, for even the issue of security, the power is very central to all of these. Because the sector is still playing with the old issues. You know, the issue of transmission, gas shortages, metering. You know, yes, metering, theft of electricity. You know, the transmission lines are not enough. They are chaotic. So again, for all of the investors that have come to Nigeria to invest in this project, it's really been a very sad situation for them, really. Let's start with the issue of electricity theft. People are stealing electricity. I mean, I can imagine how much that sector is losing to electricity theft in the last decade that the power sector reform has been put in place. So really, yes, it's good that the presidency is taking steps, I mean, to address that issue. I mean, the current minister has really tried a lot to decentralize. Even the power sector reform actually decentralized and allows, you know, institutions, you know, companies and all of that. Even Lagos State has a generating capacity on their own. So yes, it's good that that this is happening, really, that the president should meet with all of this to address some of the issues that we have mentioned now. Yeah, so the power sector has been privatized, and that's even
I've called for a reversal of this.
Well, that has even been backed by law. That would be difficult. Okay, people have invested. People have come into the country to invest in distribution, in transmission, in generation. So reversing the present the sector as it is right now, as it has been privatized, will be very difficult. I mean, there will be a whole lot of things that have to be changed in terms of law. But what I think we should do going forward, what the government should do going forward, is to create the enabling environment for all of the people that have invested in this sector, in terms of generating, in terms of transmission. You see the transmission lines, they are really chaotic. People are stealing electricity. If you go to the rural areas, some areas are not even metered, some areas are not, there are no power lines in those areas. So how do we get to those places? How do we ensure that powers are not stolen? That's really very important going forward. But I said this, the government needs to create an enabling environment for those that have invested in the power sector. There is the issue of corruption with the metering system. There are a lot of cartels, you know, in the power sector itself. In the old power sector, those remnants of people that have remained in the power sector that are profiting from selling meters to people. So, and that's really very important. And people also have to know their rights. A lot of people still pay for meter, and it's supposed to be free. So, yeah, as regards local production of meters, that is really very important, and that has to be pursued.
Now time for us to go a small break. When we come back, more Tori still on top of the table. The African Union Peace and Security Council on Thursday don't take a decision to suspend Sudan from activities of the continental body until the ongoing political GEGHE don't be resolved. Inside statements with them issue after them do crisis meeting, the AU don't demand the establishment of a civilian-led transitional authority, as them say are the only way to allow the Sudan come out from the current crisis. The decision they follow an increase in violence for Sudan this week as them ruling military council and opposition groups don't contest the authority to take charge of the transition enter democracy. The government and the opposition don't issue contradictory death list from Monday raid on a I no go Greek camp for the capital, Khartoum. While the opposition talk say the death list don't pass 100 people, Sudan Health Ministry, they talk say the Thursday, not just 61 people, na in them kill. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta don't renew the central bank governor Patrick Njoroge term, according by local station Citizen Television on Thursday. Them first appoint Njoroge to impose for June 2015 for a 4-year term where they renewable once. Njoroge is a U.S.-educated economist and he don't work as an advisor for the International Monetary Fund before he became governor for 2015. During his first term, the government will introduce a cap on commercial lending rates for 2016, as well as ban on the issuance of new commercial bank licenses for 2015. At the time, the temporary closure of Chase Bank, Kenya, will follow the closure of Imperial Bank, another mid-sized lender, and Dubai Bank, Kenya, a small lender, been done come out confidence for the industry. We don't also see increase in bad debts. The news will still continue after this shikini break. U.S. President Donald Trump and his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron don't attend the Thursday a ceremony to pay homage give the 75th anniversary of D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in history, which helped to turn the tide of World War II. They meet for the Normandy town of Col-Versailles-Mere for an American cemetery where they overlook Omaha Beach, where more than 2,400 U.S. troops been died on D-Day. The American president will watch as the French leader award the Legion d'Honneur, France's highest award for merit, to 5 U.S. retired soldiers. The two presidents later come out for a walking lunch in nearby Caen. The Normandy landing still remains the largest ever amphibious invasion, which paved the way for Western Europe liberation.
Here in Normandy, we will always remember their courage, their commitment, their conviction. And to our veterans here in Normandy today, I want to say the only words we can. Thank you.
The lives that they gave, the sacrifice that they made, did not just win a battle. It did not just win a war. Those who fought here won a future for our nation. They won the survival of our civilization. And they showed us the way to love, cherish, and defend our way of life for many centuries to come.
President Vladimir Putin on Thursday talks say Russia get differences with OPEC over wetin go constitute a fair price for oil, but say Moscow go take a joint decision on output with OPEC colleagues at a policy meeting for the coming weeks. Putin talks say a price of $60 to $65 a barrel dey okay for Moscow, while Saudi Arabia they find a higher price. Him said the decision by OPEC and them oil exporting allies go take into account the decline in production for Iran and Venezuela and problems for Libya and Nigeria. Him no gree talk wetin Russia go do with outputs in the second half of this year. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence talks say U.S.-Mexico talks will continue on Thursday, and him say President Donald Trump assessment of say Mexico must do more to reduce immigration for the border between the two nations talks they're set to resume under the U.S. State Department. Naim Pence yarn reporters adding say discussions on Wednesday between U.S. and Mexican officials they positive.
Our message to the Mexican government: the time has come for Mexico to act decisively, to work with the United States of America, to assist us in enforcing our laws, by enforcing their laws, by securing their border. And we made clear to them that President Trump is going to continue to stand firm until we bring this crisis of illegal immigration at our southern border to an end. Discussions will continue today at the State Department. The Secretary of State's team, as well as White House officials, will be meeting with the Mexican delegation. But again, I say, the meeting yesterday was positive. We welcome the efforts of Mexican officials to offer solutions to the crisis at our southern border. But we need Mexico to do more. And our hope is, as these discussions continue, that Mexico will step up, will take such action as is necessary to address what the American people know is a real humanitarian and security crisis at the southern border of the United States.
Coming up next, now Tori for Inside Business. As the U.S.-China trade war dey ground, Chinese rare earth prices don already climb go up for multi-year when e follow reports from the state media. According to state media, Beijing fit potentially weaponize their supply dominance of the prized minerals for the trade war with Washington. Rare earth, one group of 17 elements where them they show for low concentrations for the ground, therefore used for wide range of products when it is stretched from lasers and military equipment to magnets where them they see for consumer electronics. Between 2014 and 2017, China supplied 80% of the rare earths when the United States imports. Chinese state newspapers talk some matter say Beijing fit use them as opportunity for the trade disputes between the two. Ryan Castillo, managing director of Adama's Intelligence, one consultancy when they track rare earth markets, say magnet-related rare earths are the ideal materials to weaponize because them they very high, so cater to high demand, highly competitive and price-sensitive industries. The German government, when the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation they support, don't drop €2 million to do the second phase of the Competitive African Rice Initiative, CARI, for Nigeria. Now, the program director of CARI, Mr. John Bernard Lalané, talked this one on Wednesday for Abuja. According to Lanahe, the second phase of the project, what them call CARI 2, now them go do for Kebbi, Kaduna, and Jigawa states, when they want to take help smallholder farmers to increase their income. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, don't report say them launch CARI for 4 African countries, when them be Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and Tanzania for inside 2013. Lalané said the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development now then being the chook body for CARI 2 when it starts June 2018, and I'm expect them to last till June 2021. As it take talk, the project will focus for business linkages for the rice sector to make the producers they connected with the markets, processors, rice millers, aggravators, and input dealers. Still to come on Top Plus TV Africa News, now a roundup for Inside Entertainment and Sports Story. Park Live Music Festival, don't talk say rapper Cardi B no go headline their main stage on Saturday, June 8, 2019. For 1 year and where them share for their social media channel, Park Live organizers say as some of Unagos don't see them force Cardi B to cancel some performance for May. The Park Live team just get information say Cardi won't come out body from Park Live this weekend. Them said they're very sorry for the late notice. We happy weller for Park Live this weekend and we not fit wait to see all of now. This one they come after the Grammy-winning rapper Carrie in show for US under doctor's orders to let her body heal from cosmetic breast surgery and liposuction. Even as she dey play the Summer Jam Festival for New Jersey last weekend, June 2, she don't cancel all the other shows. For one Instagram video, the mother of one says she hates to cancel show because she like money, but health now wealth. That now waiting we get on Top Entertainment. Coming up next, now the very best for Inside Sports Yarns. The president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Ahmad, done they arrested by French police in one hotel for Paris on corruption allegations. Ahmad will also double as FIFA Vice President, the ENTA question, onto the purchase of referee equipment for the 2018 African Championship of Nations CHAN for Morocco, as well as the cancellation of a routine order kit from Puma for a controversy purchase from Adidas through a friend of Ahmad. The deal require make CAF pay over the odds where they suggest say Ahmad been they using office to help him friend get wayo money or na him they use the office do wuru for himself by himself. The arrest of the 59-year-old, they come not up to 15 days to the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, FIFA don't react to the event as them say they know they are aware of the details surrounding the investigate, and they don't ask French authorities for any informate where fit help the investigate where they happen within them ethics committee. Una do well that now the join Tori we get on top this very o'clock. For more better information, go follow us for Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And it will make sense if you subscribe to our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. We go still jam later with more Tori where they do background for inside the Obodo NAIJA and Obodo world. Don't forget to join us. My name is Betiana Unweli. Make una get a very kaja day.